15th of June, Rabbi Furst, Pierke Avos, conversion of Ruth.
Here's
Morning, Barry.
Morning, Barry.
morning, Barry.
Morning. Sorry, I'm late. Oh, the rabbi's not here yet? Or is he here?
He's
Just
here.
coming.
Coming.
Okay.
Hey, good morning, Mayor. Good morning, Roy. Good morning, Barry. How's
Good
everyone
morning.
today? Oh,
Good morning, Rabbi Furst.
Baruch Hashem.
Hashem. Good.
Good.
Okay, good morning. How's everyone? Good morning, Mayor. Good morning, Roy. Good morning, Barry. Good morning, Lou. Everyone, I don't know if you see me yet.
You're
Oh,
looking a little.
There you are.
Okay, here we go. Baruch Hashem. Okay, good morning. This is Rabbi Shlomo Furst here, Yeshivat Samanavshi here in Shleim here of Zoom. We are continuing exploration of Ruth Alpi, the Tzitzi Eliezer of Oldenburg, Zechron Uvracha, going through the various different questions and answers to the when, where, why, and how Ruth was Gaia. And I think that just that was an important point that based on the question that Barry asked yesterday, we have to realize that, again, we're not interested in exactly when Ruth was converted. We're interested in the Torah of how to understand what Shmuel Navi revealed to us when he wrote the Megillas Ruth. When Shmuel Navi wrote Megillas Ruth, he did it in a way that obviously, as we've been mentioning throughout, concealed the exact way and time and event of Ruth's conversion, right? And obviously was done with very good reasons. Ruach HaKodesh and Nebuah. So the reason being, we can suggest, is that there's a lot of Torah to be learned about what you're supposed to do with Gerim, and all this Torah wouldn't be revealed to us unless we had these sfekos. So even if it was determined that Ruth, in fact, was Misgayer on a certain day at a certain place, certainly based in, like that wouldn't affect all the Torah that we're learning now. The Torah that we're learning now is the understanding of what we can surmise based on the psukim themselves, the verses themselves, and Chazal, what Chazal teaches based on that. So that's what we're in the middle of. So let's see where we're going to pick up.
I think we were on
Okay.
the bottom. Yotze.
Okay.
Yotze Lanu.
Yeah, that last paragraph. Okay. The only thing, Lou, I'm not hearing you very clearly.
Okay, is that better?
Okay. Yeah. Is it all wet? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. You know where the dresses are? Go get
Is
one.
that better?
Okay.
Still low. How's everyone else hearing you?
Not so good.
When it's speaking, let's give it a test, Lou.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
It's kind of
4,
low.
5, 6. I can hear you.
It's okay. I mean, it's
It's
passable.
about a 5 on a scale of 10.
Okay, I don't know what's wrong. Something's wrong with my microphone. I'll have to get it checked. Let's try this. Is that any better?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Much
Yeah.
better.
Okay.
Ah,
Very good.
okay, so my screen is, something's wrong with this. Okay, that helped. All right, so should I read?
Unless someone else would like to read right by the
Oh.
last paragraph on that page number 3.
I'm sorry, Yotze Lanu, Midivrei,
Habach, habach.
Habach. So, Yotze means we take out.
Yeah, I mean, it literally, we take out from the words of the Bach.
We take out from the words of the Bach.
Who is the Bach again?
Bach is the base Chadosh. He was, he's a commentary on the Torah. He is the father-in-law of the Taz. When sometimes the Mishnah Berurah will mention the Bach, Mishnah Berurah also mentioned the Taz, and the Taz was the son-in-law of the Bach. Lived, what can I tell you? 1 second. Give me a minute. I'll tell you when he.
So he's a person.
Yes.
Yeah. Who is he a contemporary of?
The Shach, I'll tell you, he lived approximately 300. Yeah, I'll tell you exactly. 1 moment. And the okay. Okay. His proper name was Rav Yoel Sirkis. He was born in Poland in 1561. Okay, that's 500 plus years ago, right?
Ah,
And died in 1640.
Hmm.
He lived after the Ramah. He lived after the time of the Ramah.
he's about 500 years after Rashi.
Yeah, approximately. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Good. Okay.
Okay. So ki hata lave kivanta kol hadarshos ha'amoros is that. So this word hata, is that sin?
No, this is hate test hate. It's ki hata lev kavanas kol addresses are more when you'll speaking a bit metaphorically speaking, when you'll incline your heart to the intentions of all the drushes, all the statements,
Do you have on a dress?
right? Because
Can I?
so you'll turn your heart to understanding all the various different approaches that we've been dealing with, right?
Right.
El Daito, Kavanah said he's going to tell us about the Kavanah of the Ebener Ezra.
So when we understand all of these different discussions, we'll understand the view of the Ibn Ezra.
Well, he's going to based on the Bach, you're going to have a clearer view of the intention of the Ebener Ezra, right?
through all of these discussions.
Right.
Okay. Ki Rus v'orpa kan his gairu l'maaseh lifnei she nasho. Because Ruth and Orpah were converted before people?
before they married. Shenasu
Before
lemachloin
they married.
Killian, right? According to the opinion of the Ibn Ezra, that Ruth for Orpah, they in fact were converted before they married Machlon Killian.
What?
I'm going to Rivka.
Barry, you got to mute yourself. You keep interrupting the share. V'kilyon. Oh wait, but be'asher shalo yischan sheyikhu elu hanashim ad shenis gairu. Okay, so what is this yischan?
It's not possible. Surely Yitaken. It's
Yitake.
not possible.
It's not possible that they took these women until they were converted.
Right. It's not possible that he married them without converting them.
Ella shehagiros haisa bidome the gerus. Rather, the converts were pushed off, dome, or similar to?
Similar to, right? Very good.
Similar to the converts the converted women, hanashim shenish o shemashon Shimshon v'Shlomo. They were similar to the women, the wives of the converted wives of Shimshon and Shlomo.
Right. So Machlon Killian definitely converted Ruth for Orpah before they married them, but it was a conversion similar to the types of conversions that Shimshon and Shlomo HaMelech did with their wives.
Right.
But those wives that had this pseudo conversion were those children in line for to be after Shlomo HaMelech? I mean, what was their status? What kind of conversion was it? The children were then considered what?
I don't really know, Barry. I'm not sure. It's a good question. We have to try and find it out.
Because it seems that the fact that both of those women in Moab didn't have children for 10 years seems to indicate that there was something lacking. Some kind of kedusha was lacking.
Possibly. Let's see. Continue on. Hold on.
Okay.
V'nepchu
Right.
hadvarim shirashi zal. What is this word nefchu?
From it now it's a reversal. Now it's a reversal.
It's reversal of the words of Rashi. Because Rashi said they were not converted.
Right.
Nishar badaso yechidi Bilvad.
It's a reversal here because now Rashi, the words of Rashi are going to be a singular opinion. It's going to up. We have to see a support for Rashi now.
Right, because Rashi's now pushed out on his own because we have all these other sources are disagreeing with him.
Right.
Bima she Peirash, concerning how he explains Shalo Nisgairu, that they were not converted klal at all. Vishalo Hayu le Machlon v'Kilyon, and Machlon and Kilyon were not Kiddoshin Bahen, married to them, Ba'asher Shenis Shenachris Hayu.
Yeah, Shenachrios. They were
They were
at that time
non-Jews.
non-Jews, exactly.
So Rashi's on the hot seat. He's got to explain how it could be that Machlon and Kilyon were married to non-Jews.
Why is Rashi on the hot seat? He came 500 years before this opinion. So how can they put him on the spot?
Because you have the Zohar. Thing to do with the Zohar. The Zohar came 700 years before Rashi.
Okay.
Can't argue with the Zohar, can you, Barry? All right, let's continue.
All right, turn the page. Okay, the first word I have in the next page is olam. That sounds like out of context. Is my
Right. All
page-
the mamat is bonus. You continue on. You go ahead.
Okay, olam be ma'at hisbonenus.
Only meaning, however, with a little bit of contemplation.
Contemplation. Novcheach ledas ki gam aliba
Gamma libe. Right? Okay. However, with a little bit of his bonus, you can make it. I think put forth an argument, right? Ki gamma libe dahabach, even according to the Bach. And he's going to put forth an argument to explain Rashi, even in light of the opinion of the Bach.
Okay, so in other words, he's saying if you think about it a little bit, you can reconcile Rashi and the Bach.
Basically, yeah.
Lo nishar Rashi zal. What's nishar?
It shouldn't remain. Rashi should not remain.
Be perusho michutz le masgeres. He shouldn't remain with his explanation being outside of what is masgeres?
Masgeres means the board outside the borders, outside the framework.
Hifshar.
Right. It means chutzmiz. Rashi does with a little bit of hisbonenus, with a little bit of contemplation. You don't have to. You could make an argument to say that Rashi does not have to be remain outside of the boundaries of the Hefshar, the compromise that the Bach made. The Bach made a compromise. In his commentary, he made a compromise. And so it's also possible to fit Rashi into the compromise that the Bach made as well.
Is it possible to say that when Rashi says they were not converted, they were not completely converted? I mean, the compromise is that they had some kind of conversion,
Right.
right? So
Right.
so when Rashi says they were not converted, he's saying they were not fully converted. But that leaves open that he could hold also that they had some kind of no frills conversion. Is that basically the idea?
Well, I think that might be where he's going. Possibly. Let's see what he says. So that's a good possibility.
Okay, my page is cut off here. She'asa bezeh something.
Mm,
Asa b'zeh habach.
yeah,
Bach.
so also about right, that's the compromise that the Bach had made.
That was made by the Bach. Okay.
Right.
Uve hakdam ma diksha of adna aliba de habach. Okay, so I don't know what hakdam is.
But that's behektem with the following preface.
The following preface, Ma she yik shah, that which he asked. Dik
Right.
shah is a kasha.
The iksha, yes.
Adna aliba, according to his heart, or according to the heart of the Bach.
Well, this aliba means basically just according to.
And what's adna?
Right now, right?
Sure, what?
The question that comes up right now.
Okay. So the following is an introduction to
Just have to finish this.
what was asked now according to the Bach. Be uro bezeh. Concerning this, what is be uro?
The explanation, that he explained in this, that the Bach explained in this. Basically, the Bach's explanation in the Bach's compromise, there was the explanation that the Bach offered.
V'hava de'im nachon ha-davar she machlon v'chilyon gairu le'orpa v'rus. So it is that if it's correct that Machlon and Kilyon converted Orpah and Ruth, Kegerus Shnei Mash. I'm sorry, Shimshon v'Shlomo. Like Shimshon and Shlomo, Im Cain, if so, Yotzei Afo Ki Hatzid Kas Naami. If so, we take out the righteousness of Naomi. What is this? Epho.
Right, okay, okay, again, remember, he's now going to present the question based on the explanation of the Bach, that, that again, Machlin, Vikilion had Orpan and Ruth convert like the conversions that Shlomo and Shimshon had made. Vim Kane, however, if this is so, if that's going to be your basic assumption to reach your compromise, right? If that's going to be your basic compromise, then if Kane, if so, Yotze Efo, it comes out, it comes an opposite consequence. It's going to turn out to be an opposite consequence. Why?
Because of the righteousness of Naomi.
Right.
Chata a bezeh. Sinning this sin.
Right. She said it'll if you assume, as the Bach is presenting, that there was a conversion for Orpah and Ruth, right? Similar to those conversions of Shlomo Melech and Shimshon. So then it's going to turn out that it with, in spite of the righteousness of Naomi, she has done a sin. She has transgressed a sin. She's done a transgression.
Naomi has sinned? Is that what we're saying?
Oh yeah, she's gonna sin, right? She's gonna sin on her hands, right?
What was her sin that she permitted this?
Give him. He's gonna say. Well, you want to guess, Barry? We're gonna take a guess.
That she permitted this thing to go on.
Well, I mean, look, they did no worse than Shimshon did. They did no worse than Shlomo Melech's gonna do. They did pretty good, no?
One question: How do we explain? We're trying to figure out some kind of explanation as to why this family in Moab who was stranded there did some kind of conversion. Something happened. But how do we explain this? Maybe it's for later, but how do we explain that Shlomo Melech, this great king who was attached to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, how do we say that his conversions were questionable?
Well, first of all, who says that they were questionable? I mean, they did it. I mean, look. Bathsheba was Shlomo Melech's mother. She was not a slouch. She let Shlomo Melech have it if he did something wrong. She didn't take her son lightly. She was making sure he was going to be the king, and a good king too.
Exactly. He was a great king.
Right.
He was the greatest king. That was the high point of our civilization.
Yes, that's
right.
True.
So
right.
how could it be that we're trying to say that, or are we trying to say that we're trying to compare this questionable business in Moab to what the greatest king did? It should be that Shlomo Melech's conversions were impeccable beyond question.
Well, maybe they were. Who said? Did we suggest that they weren't?
Okay, but if we're suggesting that they were impeccable and beyond question, so why are we then comparing this questionable business in Moab? And why are we comparing it to that?
Well, no, I mean, maybe it wasn't questionable. Maybe what they did in Moab was just they did it just as good as Shimshon and Shlomo did.
Yeah, but Shlomo Melech had a bezdin. He had a whole society. They're stranded in Moab. How could they possibly do that?
Okay,
how could they possibly do something on the level of a Shlomo Melech when they ran away and they turned their back on Torah and they're living in Moab among Goyim, and yet we're going to say that their conversion was equal to Shlomo Melech.
Well, that's what the box said. The box said that. I can't help you now. You have good questions, but I can't help you because the box said it. The box said it That's what the box shot is. The box shot is they did conversions like that of Shlomo Melech and Shimshon.
Okay, I'm questioning, but I'm only
Yeah.
questioning, but I'm certainly, I know that, you know, they're correct.
I agree with you. I agree with you, Barry. You're right. You're right. I agree with you. But that's what he's trying. That's what he's trying to do. He's saying he's making such a point now that if you make the assumption that the Bach is making the assumption that their conversions are on the same level of Shlomo Melech and Shimshon's, then Naomi's got herself a big problem here because she did a tremendous sin. What was her sin? Let's take a look.
She tried to send them back.
Yeah, take a look exactly. You can't do that. You can't do that to a convert. That's a terrible thing. Can't send the convert back.
Shpia al arpa lechazor, that she influenced Orpah to return.
Right.
L'sora el ama ve'el aha. What is Sora?
Her previous life of sin.
To her previous life of sin among her nation, and what is aha?
That that Ve'el, that's an abbreviation for her God, to her God.
Okay, so now we're at this question that we've asked many times. How could it be that Naomi sent Orpah back to her nation and her gods and her sinful way of life?
Right.
So that's her sin. That's her sin.
Right.
Not that she had any participation in the excuse me, in the questionable conversion, but that if you're going to say that they were not converted, I'm sorry, if you're going to say that they were converted, then she clearly cannot send them back.
Right. And if she did, if she tried, it's a tremendous sin.
Ukit sotzia mizeh. What's sotzia?
Mikotza mizet saisa. Let's finish the whole sentence.
Zaisa orpa la v'chazra l'sora.
So the consequence of this, and the consequence of this, Saisa Orpah, that Orpah listened to her. Saisa's Orpah listened to her. V'chazra l'sora, and she went back to her sinful ways. Look at that. Naomi convinced Orpah to return to her sinful ways.
Oh, right, because originally Orpah also said, no, I'm coming with you.
Right, that's right.
Deha hare b'di'evid tifsa hagerus etzla. That this, behold, b'di'evid, what's tifsa?
It was it was ratified, meaning b'di'evid, the conversion was ratified, meaning, Barry, this is the answer to your question. Even by Shlomo Melech and even by Shimshon, they're not supposed to do it that way, right? They're not supposed to convert people like that, in that way. But if they do, the conversion is still valid, right? It's b'diavad a conversion. They shouldn't have done it that way, but if they did it, the conversion's conversion. And the goy or goya that converted is now a full-fledged Jew. B'diavad albeit, but they're still a full-fledged Jew. And therefore you can't treat them any less than a full-fledged Jew. Now, de facto, after the fact. Right, Barry?
I'm confused. Why do you say it's b'diavad? What we said Shlomo HaMelech had a based in and the whole thing. So what's b'diavad about it?
So that here, it was apparently he didn't do with the base in here. You see that? You see, go back onto page 2. You see the paragraph with paragraph hey.
Page 2, paragraph. I see Gimel.
Hey, paragraph hey. Well, no, excuse me. Maybe it's page 3. I'm sorry. Maybe it's page 3. Sorry.
Page 3, paragraph hey. Okay, I see it.
So they're in the middle of five lines down. It says there. If you see where the red ball is with Shlomo with Shimshon.
Let me get the red ball on my screen. Yeah, Shlomo v'Shimshon, Gairu, Nashim, they converted women, Vanish or, and they married Le'atzmam, they married them themselves. V'hadavar Yadua, and this matter is known, Shalo Chazru Elu Nashim, these women did not return, Ella Bishvil Davar.
Meaning they had these women had ulterior motives.
Okay, these women had ulterior motives because they wanted to be married?
Yeah, who wouldn't want to marry the king? What, the king comes to you and say, you want to marry me? Say, sure. Okay, all you have to do is convert. Say, no problem. Go ahead, let's do it.
Okay, so that's why it's b'diavad.
Right, and not only that, he says you have a law be based in. Right, he also said they didn't do it based in.
Oh, right. Right.
Well, there was no based in. Even by Shlomo, you hear that, Barry? Even by Shlomo, there was no based in.
And nevertheless, it's still considered a b'diavad, a good conversion.
Right, b'diavad is considered a full-fledged conversion. So now, according to the Bach, that's exactly what Machlon Vikilion did, right? So they were following. They were doing what eventually Shlomo Melech and what Shimshon did, and what's happening here is it was b'diavad, but nevertheless the conversion was still considered to be a conversion.
So in the case of Shlomo, the reason it's b'diavad is two things. One is that the women had ulterior motives, and two is that there was no based in. Is that correct?
Yes.
So in our case with Ruth and Naomi, we say there's no based in, but the other factor, the ulterior motives, I don't think we have evidence of that, do we?
Not necessarily. You're right. We don't. No one really spoke about their true motivations. But look what there are a couple of rich Jewish boys here in town. Like who wouldn't want to marry a couple of rich Jewish boys, right, Barry?
Right, exactly.
So you're saying they were rich when they first arrived?
I think so. No, they're
They're poor when they leave. 10 years later, they're very poor.
Well, yeah, they took a beating when they received punishments for sure.
Well, but they were rich in the beginning. They were rich in Moab.
Yeah, I mean,
Yaakov
yeah,
Me'olova says that they bought property, etc.
yeah. So they probably were pretty well. They were probably attractive boys, also. Jewish boys. Nice looking Jewish boys.
The other question, for another time, though, one other question is that with Shlomo Melech and his 1,000 wives, the Yaakov Loa says that during the time of Shlomo HaMelech, they did not accept converts because people just wanted to get in for the ride because Israel was so prosperous and powerful, etc. So he says that they didn't accept converts. And yet Shlomo Melech was
Right,
able to
correct.
convert his wives.
Right.
So,
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, Barry, you don't want to start with the king. Don't start up with the king.
no, I'm only asking.
I know, yeah. I know, but
So,
okay, let's see. Maybe we can finish this paragraph, okay?
where are we back to now?
We're back to the second page 4, the first major paragraph there.
Okay, so, so we
Right.
said that,
The ha, yeah, right, you see over here, the third line in the middle of the third line, the ha, hari di'evid tafsugirus. B'di'evid, the conversion was
Okay.
ratified.
etzla, by them, ki de chusav habach. That's in accordance with the Bach.
Yeah, and as ukediksiv Bach ba'atzmo, and as the Bach himself wrote.
Bedivrav,
Right, in his words, in the words that he wrote about this, the Bach.
in his words, de B'di'evid, kulam gerim, that in non-ideal fashion, all of them were converts. Kepasek harambam bezeh, like the Rambam explains this.
Right.
So the Rambam and the Bach are in sync here.
Right.
V'rak me achar she machlon v'chilyon avru chok haTorah, and only after Machlon and Kilyon violated a law of the Torah, b'mezid, intentionally, lechatchila, in the ideal fashion, lechein na'an su, therefore they were punished.
Right. Why were Machlon and Kilyon punished? Because they were over the chok of the Torah, the laws of the Torah, intentionally. The lichatchila, they did this. They did this at the onset intentionally. So therefore they were punished.
What's this?
The fact that they were misguided them in such a fashion.
I thought we said they said the conversion was b'di'evid, it was valid.
Right, but lichatchila, they were punished for doing it. Right.
And so was Shimshon?
We have to go. We'll have to study Shimshon at one point and understand what his situation was. Also, with Shlomo Melech, we have to understand what his situation was.
Right. Those are very complicated situations.
Yeah.
But we know that both of them did something wrong.
Right. You have to see if and when they were punished and what they were punished for. That's beyond the scope of what we can deal with right now.
Right. The Im Kain, Hare, Su, Lo, Mehani, Chazeres, Orpa, the Sora. So, if so, or therefore, we hooray, behold, Su means furthermore.
Right.
Lo mehani chazeres orpa lesora. What is mehani?
Does not help.
It doesn't help the fact that Orpah returned to her wicked ways.
Right. It does. Right. It doesn't. It's not going to help that she had to go back to her wicked ways.
It's not going to help what? Furthermore,
Going
this,
back.
Going back doesn't help.
Orpah turning back is not going to help her. She's a Jew. She's a Jewess. It's not going to help her, right? Loma, it doesn't help Mahani that. So what was Naomi trying to do? She was a Jew. What is this righteous woman Naomi doing, trying to convince Orpah to go join the brothels of Moab again?
Ukamo she pasak harambam sham be perich gimel.
Right. Perich Yud Gimel.
Perich Yud Gimel.
Mehilchus Isurei Bir. Halacha Yud Zayin.
In the book called Hilchos Isurei Bia. So
Surabia, what does the Surabia mean? Prohibited marriages?
Relations, yeah, right. Prohibited relations, right.
So the Rambam agrees with this analysis that or it didn't do any good for Orpah to go back.
It was a sin to have her go back.
It was a sin to have her go back. What is this abbreviation? Yud Zion?
That's Halacha Yud Zayin. Halacha Yud. Perek Yud.
That's the reference.
Right. Perek Yud Gimel. Halacha Yud Zayin. That's the reference, right?
De afilu chazar va'avad. What is this abbreviation?
Kimo. One second. I think it's a Kamosha Kasav, if I'm the Kamosha, as we have written, if I'm not mistaken.
So that even returning and sinning, as we have written, Hare hu ki Yisrael, behold, she's like a Jew. Mumar, apostate Jew.
Right, exactly. Once she's part of the club, that's it for life. No going back.
Shekadusha so kedushin u mitzvah leha chazir aved su, that her holiness is a holiness of mitzvahs. She's commanded to be holy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I looked this up. Chaf of men means Kochavim Umazalas, for Ovid Kochavim Muzanta, and do Ovid be over Avodah Zorah, to do Avodah Zorah.
Oh,
Right. Afilu, meaning the Ramban writes, Afilu Choser Ba'avid Kochavim Muzalos, even if a convert would go and serve, worship stars and constellations, they're still Hariki Yisrael woman. They're like a Jew who is a heretic.
even if they went and did idol worship, they still are like a Jew who has become a mumar, who is
Right.
heretic.
Right.
So when she says your sister-in-law has gone back to her gods, that's what this is referring to.
Right, exactly.
And that her holiness is a holiness that's commanded.
Well, no, Kedusha meaning if they have all laws according to the Jews. Meaning if they would marry, the marriage is considered to be a Jewish marriage, right? Umitzvah, right? Umitzvah lachzir avedasai, and if an apostate, if a heretic loses something, it's a mitzvah to return their object to them, right?
Oh,
If a convert goes back to their evil ways and they lose something, it's still a mitzvah to return their evaded to them. Because after they do the mikveh, they go to the mikveh and do the immersion, they're like a Jew.
ulefichach kayamu she mishun shemashun
Mishimshon v'shlomo.
Shimshon ushlomo, and even if we establish that they're like Shimshon and Shlomo, Nesu Sehem. What is that? Nesu Sehem?
Their wives, right?
Your wives.
Right. The fikach. Therefore, it's established the wives of Shimshon and Shlomo, Afal Pishin Nigala Sodom, even though it became revealed their secret, meaning the secret that the women weren't really interested.
So they're still considered to be Jews, even though it's revealed that they had secret ulterior motives.
Right. Okay. Okay, we've gone a bit over time also. All right, we'll have to stop here and we'll continue on tomorrow.
So just to summarize for 1 second,
Yeah.
so we're saying that there's a way that we can reconcile the Bach with Rashi, except that leaves us in big trouble because we can't explain Naomi's actions.
Right. Now we have to shift our attention and try and understand what Naomi was trying to do here.
But what was the synthesis of Rashi and the Bach? That
No,
the
because-
conversion was valid b'di'evid?
Yeah, because so according to it's how you want to explain the conversion. According to Rashi, Rashi's looking at the conversion from a point of view of Litkatchila. Litkatchila, this is not a proper conversion at all, right? And what the Bach is saying, no, b'di'evid, this is a conversion b'di'evid. So basically, that's how the Bach and the Rashi are being reconciled by the Bach.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, good. Mitzvah Shem, very good. Thank you, Lou, for the reading. And
Hello.
Roy, have a good afternoon. Tomorrow.
Okay.
Yes.
Want a
Thank
break?
you, Rabbi.
Yes, we're going to take a break now. And
You've got the
Barry,
Hitchhiker Food.
in a few minutes, Mitzvah Shem.
Okay, see you soon.
Okay.